I can say that yes, I have finished off the Death remake, and I'm on my new game plus. And I have some feelings about some things.
Mm-hmm. He
I
is.
I think the remake was stellar. I think it
Yeah.
was um I we said it before, but just to reiterate, it is understated how amazing the environments and lighting are in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They did a ridiculously beautiful job with just the atmosphere of everything. Um, and again, it helps to be playing it, on a PS5 with fucking everything HDR and pretty. But yeah, you really get an appreciation for all those zones, like never before. Um, the changes are what they are, and I think the Fat Minister ends up being like one of the biggest letdown
The
ones.
Specifically the last fat minister in
The
that
the
level,
runaway guy, yeah.
the one that is laughing,
Up
and then
close.
his face isn't laughing.
Hmm. But I would say, I my biggest downgrade moment is Estrella.
Mm-hmm.
For two really important reasons. I feel. One, I don't know if it was a bug, but I don't think it was because I saw other people ran into this. But one, uh, Garl doesn't talk when you walk up to him. You walk up to Garl and he doesn't. For me, he said nothing. You swing at him, you go. He had no lines whatsoever. So I was like, "What the fuck?" That was such a great moment, and nothing happened there. I got no Garl Vinland lines. So I'm like, well, that fucking kind of killed the moment. And then the
That
second,
seems like it is a mistake.
huh? Because I checked online to see if other people ran into this, and I saw other people posting, yeah, how come he had no lines? What happened? You know?
People are also saying that he only talks to you if you are a human.
Really? He doesn't talk to you in soul form.
Apparently, it's an old bug. What context?
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
well,
that's a fucking
great grain of salt, obviously.
I don't know. Yeah, if that's true, I don't know what the confirmation is on that. If that's reliable or not, I gotta check with Spy. But if so, then like okay, because yeah, I was human last time, but that's a fucking great moment that it would suck to not get. And then second, more obviously, is they changed the music, and the music they
Yeah,
replaced it with is nowhere near as strong as the original choice.
it's a completely different tone.
Mm-hmm.
Plays
Um,
this bit. I think that honestly, in terms of the musical quality of that encounter, like just based on the track, like purely like listening to the two tracks, I think that new track is fantastic.
it is. It's a beautiful moment in score, but it's not that baroque theme that feels
Yeah,
melancholy.
the original was like, hey man, you know what instrument doesn't get used a lot? The fucking harpsichord. We're gonna make a really intense harpsichord track. Whereas the new one is a lot more orchestrated with a lot more music, and the harpsichord is kind of kicked to the back. But more than that, I think it has a real encounter
It's isn't
design
it isn't
problem.
it harpsichord?
Whatever, it's the shit piano, the shit piano for babies.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
um, but more than that is that the new track takes like a minute or more to get going, and the encounter is usually over by then. Like
It might be. Depends
fight,
on how
fight,
good
like
you can
the original
handle
track, like you
Carl.
got with the meat of it within 2 seconds, like right walking in.
Yeah.
Um, Garl, the easiest way to deal with Garl is to just parry him or run past him,
Hmm.
and like I barely got to hear the track at all.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like first encounter moments with that, and yeah, the replacement track just doesn't cut it. I also didn't like you know how the Nexus track changes too once
Mm-hmm.
you are like able to access the end game.
Yeah.
Um, that new track as well wasn't as good. So but that was not as major. But like, I feel like those two things really affected the Estrella fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going
I
to be
also,
perfect. But
if I had to make a separate complaint, and this is across the entire soundtrack, Demon Souls had a really unique sound because it used so much brass, which has been downplayed in all the new tracks. Like
hmm,
Demon Souls is probably the original Demon Souls is probably the only game soundtrack I could ever think of where I'm sitting there going, "Is that a fucking tuba for
hmm,
this boss track? Are they actually using a fucking
hmm.
tuba?" And that tone is definitely not present in the new tracks.
Adjudicator.
I don't remember them well enough,
I feel as
but
if
I do remember a lot of burr, burr, burr,
I
with
feel as if
horns.
yeah, no, like original got so much right for it being like a brand new like game structure idea,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so much in terms of tone was nailed outright. Um, for all the you know but like for everything that like those moments kind of lose there, the entire um prison into tower up to the monk
Oh yeah, the
is
best level transition in history is now even more the best.
that whole zone is magical. Like
I'm of the belief they never topped that level ever in any game they ever made. Because man, it's perfect.
Latria, it's kind of like there's so many moments too where you just stop to like go to camera mode and just look around at like the floating everything. Man, it's just gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. Really, really, felt the improvement in that
Hey
level more
man,
than any.
you want to fucking talk about audio improvements? Latria features the single best audio improvement in the entire remake by replacing fucking Rydell's every fucking 10
Yeah, yeah,
seconds
yeah, 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 yeah,
with
yeah.
like a much more muted one that doesn't play as
Help
often.
me,
Oh my
please.
fucking god.
Help me. Yeah. uh, and um, some character like the changes to some voices are interesting. Like I feel like um some people like it's weird. Like Ostrava got less douchey, right? Original Ostrava sounded more stuck up princely,
Mm-hmm.
and new Ostrava is more humble.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it depends on. I like it. I like new Ostrava more because of that humility, but some might say that he's supposed to be a prince though, so it would make more sense that he is kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
Um, I understand. I take both. I understand arguments. I understand either one. But like personally, I like New Ostrava because I like the character. So I prefer I like the humble image of him kind of like throwing himself hopelessly against this lost cause. You know.
So I feel very strongly about this topic because what they did is they went and got every voice actor they could and re-recorded all the audio.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, with a few exceptions, it's the same actors rereading the same lines 11 years later, or maybe 10 years later. And I was on the Kojima frequency recently, in which we talked about Twin Snakes, and it is my stance that you can't win with re-recorded audio because it'll never be the same.
Because it's nostalgia points.
And it's very rarely so much better that you're gonna offset the fact that it's not the same.
Mm-hmm. Like Twin Snakes as a great example. Like even without the mailing part of the conversation, people were angry about the rereads as a whole.
I don't like almost any of Ocelot's rereads.
I know
don't like them.
Yeah. So again, you're just like, well, my memories say this, and this is what it was, and you know, it's sort of if it's the same people doing a different take of something, and they end up choosing something with different energy, yeah, it can end up just making a moment that you remember strongly for one quality be completely different. You can't win. But if the quality of what you originally recorded is not usable in a modern context,
yeah, it's like 96 kps or whatever.
You have no fucking choice. You know.
Yeah.
You can't just go, oh well, it sounds like garbled fucking real player, but we're gonna use it for its faithfulness.